We are up on the... Ooh, dude, did you hear that behind us? Oh, I got the chills, man. That was like... Oh, my goodness. Oh.
What is happening? See?
Rugged road explorers regularly ventures into remote landscapes in search of forgotten structures and traces of the past. On this trip, the creator is traveling through a rugged canyon when an unexpected discovery forces him to reconsider the safest route back. While heading back through a wash at the bottom of the valley, he follows what should be the quicker route through the canyon.
So I'm headed back in the wash here, and check this out. Of course, there won't be any dwellings or anything here because the water flows right through here, and you can see how it's cut it out, but pretty cool. So this is the kind of thing that I see, you know, that doesn't usually show up on camera.
The area has been carved out by flowing water, and at first, the journey seems completely normal. Then he suddenly freezes after noticing something in the ground. Directly in front of him is a large footprint.
Because check this out. Look at that footprint right there. That looks like a bear print to me. And there's another one. You can see it. You see the pad and you see the paws. So yeah, and you can see it. Ooh.
Looking closer, he can make out what appears to be a pad and possible claw marks. To him, it looks like a bear track. Another print nearby seems to confirm that something large has recently moved through the area. Joking that it is either a bear or Bigfoot, he immediately becomes much more cautious. Instead of remaining down in the narrow wash, he decides to climb higher.
So after seeing those bear tracks, I got out of the bottom part of the wadi there and up a little bit higher, and I may go even higher because when you're in low like that, you know, you can be ambushed really easily by predator animals, and I don't want to be ambushed. So I'm probably going to go higher and walk across the top of the mesa, even though this would have been quicker.
His concern is simple. Staying low could leave him vulnerable if a predator is nearby. As he moves upward, he notices that the tracks appear to have done exactly the same thing. Whatever left them also seems to have climbed out of the wash.
Yeah, they did the same thing. You can see they got out of the wash too. There's their tracks. You know, and it's been since the last rain that they've been here, so interesting.
But changing his route soon leads to an entirely different discovery. Higher above the canyon, he unexpectedly finds the remains of an ancient structure built into the landscape. Despite being on his way back, he cannot resist taking a closer look.
There is the remains of an ancient dwelling here. Ancient structure. So let's check it out real quick. This is what I mean, guys, when I say, you know, even though we're headed back to the, wow, look at this, headed back to the camper, man, that goes way back in there.
Parts of the structure extend surprisingly far into the rock, with walls still visible around the entrance.
Explorer's not over. That's wild. That goes way back. Let's see over here. I wonder why they walled up this side. See, you can see the wall and where it tied in over there. And look at that. I'm looking, I don't see any bear tracks here, so we're good to go there. But look how far back that goes. This would have been a great storage area.
Before moving deeper, however, he checks carefully for more bear tracks. Finding no obvious fresh tracks around the structure, he explores the caves and chambers. Some areas appear to have been used for storage, while other sections have partially collapsed.
Wow, cave after cave after cave, huh? Crazy. I guess this would have been the door here, and the rest of it is kind of washed away. It looks like it's all fallen here. But, all right, the weather's turning turning on us, so I need to keep heading back.
Ironically, the bear tracks that pushed him away from his original route are the only reason he discovered the site. With the weather beginning to turn and stronger winds moving in, he finally decides it is time to continue back. Exploring with Bear takes viewers into supposedly haunted and mysterious locations, often camping deep in remote areas overnight. During this investigation in the Appalachian Mountains, Jar Bear and his friend head toward a tunnel associated with stories of a looming shadow figure. Once the rain finally stops, the pair leave their shelter and begin making their way back toward the tunnel to continue the investigation. As they approach through the darkness, they talk about how suddenly the tunnel appeared during their previous visit.
All right, the rain has stopped.
Man, that tunnel's gonna sneak up on us again. It scared me the last time.
I know, it
When
did.
I looked up,
And it was right there.
and it was right there.
It sort of startled me too. I wasn't ready for it. It just sort of came out of nowhere.
But before reaching it, something happens while the camera is briefly turned off. Jar Bear quickly switches the camera back on after hearing a massive noise from the trees.
Dude,
You put it on camera?
I had the camera off, but I turned it on. I think I got most of it on camera. Dude. Whoop! Did you guys hear that freaking tree in there?
Holy shit.
That's crazy, man.
The sound is loud enough to immediately make both men nervous. They stop on the trail and listen, hoping to figure out what could have caused it. Wanting to see if they can trigger another response, they consider making a tree knock and instead try calling out into the forest.
Here if we can hear anything else. Dang it, I don't have a knocker. I'd like to do a tree knock. Try one of your whoops, B.
What was that?
I don't know. It sounded... That thing was huge, man.
Almost immediately, another huge sound comes from somewhere nearby. Neither of them can identify exactly what caused it, but Jar Bear decides to keep recording this time. Then another noise comes from behind them. Jar Bear suddenly reacts to something directly behind their position.
Dang nab, man. Every time I have the camera off is when things happen. You realize that?
Yeah, look, the tunnel's right there.
We are up on the... Ooh, dude. Did you hear that behind us?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I got the chills, man. You didn't hear that? That was like... Oh, my goodness. Oh! It felt like... Or sounded like something hit this trail right behind us. I thought something was just tossed out behind us. Right behind us, man.
Man, remember what that big loud noise?
That thing was so loud. I don't want to go back to check footage now, but that had to come up on camera.
He describes it as sounding like something had hit the trail or had been thrown down nearby. The timing leaves both of them unsettled. First came the massive sound in the trees. Now something appears to be moving much closer to the path they are standing on. Still, they continue toward their destination. The tunnel finally comes into view.
There it is. The tunnel.
Looking toward a smaller trail leading in the direction of the earlier noise, Jar Bear jokes that if Bigfoot could make a sound, the massive crash they heard would be it.
There's sort of a trail going down to where that sound came from, too. Man, if Bigfoot, my boy, could make a noise, that would be it, huh? You know what I mean? Like, that was massive, man.
But their actual reason for being there is the site's darker history and the reports of a shadowy figure around the tunnel.
Look at the cobweb going across up there.
Yeah.
So this guy was a bully and died right here. I don't know, man. It was like I was talking about that,
Yeah.
and I got attacked. And he was a bully. Oh my goodness, that is so weird. I got the chills again, man. I don't want to hang out in that spot long again. I think we just get right in there, huh?
After everything they have already heard on the approach, walking inside suddenly feels much less inviting. Black Mass Paranormal explores unusual locations while documenting experiences that may have paranormal or unexplained origins. During this investigation in a remote wooded area, while moving through the area, he suddenly stops after hearing an unusual sound. Listening carefully, he says it almost sounds like somebody singing somewhere nearby.
That was a weird sound. Like I just heard. Sounded like somebody singing. It was like, ooh.
The experience clearly puts him on edge. Moments later, his heart is beating so hard that he struggles to keep the camera steady.
That's my heart beating so fast. That's why I can't hold anything freaking still. Not out of like fear, but like out of like heat. Taking that gear off helped, but I couldn't take it off where I was, because I already went down once. That probably would have broke my shoulder if I didn't have the gear on.
Looking back on what happens next, he explains that he is roughly 200 yards from an area once described as a feeding station by researcher Scott Carpenter.
What the fuck?
All right, so this part was really strange. I initially went back. The area that I'm walking, about 200 yards away from here, is where Scott Carpenter had what he called the feeding station. Now, I know this spot specifically through Tony, so I know that I'm in the right area. And when I was moving through here, one thing that I do tend to notice a lot is the way that the animals react. The birds weren't doing their typical, like either going completely silent, which can be an indicator of a bird predator in the way, or they weren't doing their little chatter back and forth. They were being like extra loud, and you can hear it.
As he moves through the woods, he begins paying attention to the animals around him. Normally, he says birds may suddenly become silent when a predator enters an area. This time, however, they appear unusually loud and active. Then the situation changes quickly. According to the creator, a series of branches suddenly begins breaking as something appears to charge toward him through the woods.
What my microphone didn't pick up very well was when the actual charge happened. So if you look in the back left of this video, that's where this charge happened. All of a sudden, all of these branch breaks, and I hear something charge towards me. Now, what I find really interesting about this is if you look at the heat signature that I happen to pick up as I'm kind of moving back. So that is 144 degrees that this thermal reading is picking up, which is crazy. The hottest spot that I had picked up earlier was like 96. So you're talking about a temperature change of almost 50 degrees in the shaded woods.
His microphone does not capture the full intensity of the movement, but he points toward the back left section of the footage as the direction it came from. As he starts moving away, his thermal equipment also registers an unusually hot reading. Continuing to retreat, he explains how intimidating it can be to hear heavy movement in dense woodland when there is no easy route around whatever might be approaching. The encounter leaves him interested in returning with different equipment that could potentially detect movement in the area more clearly. For now, he decides to head back toward his motorcycle. Before he can fully leave, another sudden disturbance catches him completely off guard.
And get back over to the motorcycle here. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Well, I just got charged.
He repeatedly asks what the sound was as he reacts to something nearby. After putting some distance between himself and the area, he sums up what he believes just happened in a few words. He says something charged him. Welcome to the Woods UK documents repeated visits into a woodland where the creator has experienced a number of unusual incidents over time, from strange figures caught on camera to unexplained knocking sounds. The area has given him plenty of reasons to remain cautious. Reflecting on previous visits, the creator talks about the knocking noises he has heard throughout the woodland.
Of course, we've had all them sort of knocking noises during the night and during the day, may I add. They've been during the day as well. Even sometimes off camera you'll hear the odd one. But it could be attributed to someone further in the woodland that shouldn't be in here just doing whatever they're up to that's causing that noise. But it's happened in the dead of night as well, which is the more concerning thing, which means someone's coming in at night time or whatever it is. It might be a natural phenomenon, but I can't put my finger on what it exactly is.
Some have happened during the daytime, when another person deeper in the woods could potentially explain them. But similar sounds have also occurred in the middle of the night. That possibility concerns him far more. Later that night, an unexplained noise wakes him. He listens from inside his shelter as something seems to be moving outside.
There's without a doubt someone moving around out there. Oh my God. I'm trying to quiet my breathing to actually hear.
Whatever is making the noise is close enough to immediately get his attention. To him, it sounds distinctly like someone walking nearby.
I don't know what the hell that noise is. Whatever it is, it's woken up. Whatever the noise is, it's woken the birds up. They're going crazy. Definitely sounded like someone was walking. If anything else happens, I'll whack the camera back on.
By morning, he reflects on what happened during the night.
There's definitely something walking about last night. Didn't sound that far away. Almost deliberate again. Early this morning, there was a bit of a fog coming up really early, just as it was turning light. And I see the shadow over there of a deer. Now, could it be a deer that's making them noises? I very much doubt it. They got 4 legs. This sounded like something on 2 legs. I mean, a person, obviously.
He is convinced that something was walking around outside and that it did not sound particularly far away. He briefly considers whether a deer could be responsible, but the movement does not sound right to him. Instead of an animal moving on 4 legs, he believes the footsteps sounded more like something walking on 2. That leaves the possibility that another person was somewhere in the woods with him. Despite the area's reputation and stories involving witchcraft, he does not believe that is the most likely explanation.
To my honest opinion, I don't think it's witchcraft what's going on here. I think it's definitely something strange. Whether someone's coming out here when I'm here all the time. It's not every single time, but most times I have something happen here.
His concern is more grounded. He wonders whether someone may regularly be entering the private woodland, especially because strange incidents seem to happen during many of his visits. He then remembers another discovery from nearby woods months earlier.
Not in this block of woodland, but in the one next door, and literally they are like obviously connected in one massive block of woodland, and then it goes up to the hills. I had a quick walk through there, and again it's private, I shouldn't have really been in there, so it was just one of them. I popped the mobile phone out and quickly give it a video. Now, I mean, is that just kids that have been there and, you know, sadly left a load of rubbish and not packed their stuff away and just left it and walked off? Or is there more to that? I mean, was someone else hearing them noises during the night and fled, just panicked and fled?
There, he found what appeared to be an abandoned camp with belongings and rubbish left behind. It could simply have been a group that failed to clean up. But after another night of unexplained footsteps, he considers a different possibility. Perhaps whoever stayed there heard the same strange noises and decided to leave in a hurry. Dee's dark adventures heads deep into wooded areas, searching for unusual structures, strange sounds, and unexplained activity. During this visit, Dee begins finding bent trees and other formations along a quiet trail. As daylight disappears, however, the atmosphere changes, and the sounds around her become increasingly difficult to identify.
Bend, right? If you come over here, you got this. No roots. Up into the crack. It's planted. And then look right here. You guys can probably already see it.
While walking near the water, Dee suddenly hears something that makes her stop. At first, she wonders if it was simply water splashing. Then she describes hearing what sounds like a small growl followed by movement nearby.
That's what makes it fun. I'm an adult with imagination. Sue me. I can't have an imagination. There's a lean-to right there. I just heard movement. Woo! I don't know where it was. Was it the water splashing? I need to get the stick. No stick. I'm taking the stick. What's that good stick? I heard like a small growl. But I'm not for sure. And then I heard movement over in this area. There's a duck. Okay, it's really quiet, so now I'm whispering. This is freaky. It's brighter for you guys, not for me.
The forest has become extremely quiet, and Dee lowers her voice as she listens. Eventually, she decides to try a wood knock.
Ooh, ooh. I swear that's what I just heard. Ooh. Let's do a wood knock. Real quick. Let's see.
More faint noises continue from across the water and surrounding woods. Dee struggles to determine whether they are coming from animals, splashing fish, or movement in the vegetation. She calls out to see if anyone is there. Then she begins hearing what she describes as repeated grunting sounds.
What we get.
A strange screech immediately puts Dee on edge. Continuing along the trail, she soon notices a print in the ground that appears to show a heel, arch, and toes.
That looks like an old one. That's a big toe and a heel and an arch. There's toes. That's a print. I didn't know I'd find one like that quick. It's old and it's headed in this direction. Let's see.
Not far away, she discovers another unusual track. This one looks more like a hoof, but Dee cannot identify what animal could have left it.
I don't like that. That's a weird hoof print. It's not wide enough to be a deer. It's not a shoe print. That's a hoof. Oh, great. Now we're gonna have Hoof Man out here. Where'd the bird go that was singing?
As darkness settles in, more unexplained sounds begin around her.
There's a duck. What is that? It did it twice. I thought it was a vehicle, but...
Dee hears something she is confident is neither a dog nor a bird. Shortly afterward, she reacts to another noise as movement seems to come from multiple directions.
I only turned the camera on because it sounded weird. What is happening? Oh gosh. See? It's all... Whoa. Look at that. I've never seen a pine tree bent. Oh god. What was that? Guys, it's getting weird. And dark. Oh man.
The isolation that felt exciting earlier is now becoming uncomfortable.
Hello. I'm gonna put this down so when I walk through, oh, please tell me I have some left. Oh. Oh, I don't have any cat balls on me. Dang it. Oh, I'm such a horrible explorer, researcher.
Later, while stopping to drink water, Dee says she suddenly hears a female voice inside her head telling her to leave immediately.
I'm trying to take a drink of water, and as I'm drinking it, I hear in my head a female voice say, "Go now." I can only hold him off so long. And I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden, right on my face, in my right ear, I heard, "Go now." In the same voice, but outside. And I dropped everything. I just ran. And I don't know if that was just them wrestling or fighting or what it was, but I'm trying.
According to Dee, the message warns, "Go now. I can only hold him off so long." Seconds later, she claims the same voice speaks directly beside her ear.
About a year and a half ago, I swear it's the same voice. I don't know what that is. I don't remember that. Oh, there's the fish smoke again. There's two. There's one there and one there. Oh my god. There's two right on top of me. I don't know what's what or what's... Oh god, I don't like the sounds they're making.
This time, Dee does not wait around to investigate. She drops what she is carrying and starts running. As she tries to get away, Dee remembers hearing what she believes was the same female voice during an earlier visit to this park with her son. Then she becomes convinced that two separate sources of movement are now extremely close to her. Whatever is happening, Dee's only priority becomes reaching the road and getting out of the woods. Haunted Finders has spent years investigating locations with strange histories, and this time the channel returns to the vast Sherwood Forest. While exploring a quieter section away from the main paths, the investigation begins producing some unusual responses. But eventually, the activity seems to move beyond their equipment and into the forest around them. After receiving what appears to be an intelligent response during the investigation, Haunted Finders continues asking questions.
I'm really here. Okay, that's fantastic. Well, I've got another device that picks up your voice. I don't know if you saw me using it earlier, but you said your remains are here and that she shot you. Can you tell me what you were shot with?
He brings out another device, hoping whatever they are communicating with can provide more information. He asks about the person's supposed remains and wants to know what they were shot with. Then, something nearby interrupts the session.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was like...
What?
over there somewhere. It just sounded like someone was knocking on one of the trees, like really loud. I don't know if the microphone would have picked that up.
A sudden noise comes from somewhere deeper in the trees. Both investigators immediately react to it. Haunted Finders describes it as a loud knock against one of the trees. What makes the sound more unsettling is the location. They are surrounded by dense woodland with almost no paths nearby. He also mentions hearing what sounded like someone walking through the forest shortly before the knock. Wondering whether the noises could be connected to whoever they have been communicating with, they continue the investigation. Haunted Finders asks for the identity of the person responsible for the supposed shooting and encourages the presence to communicate clearly.
Okay. Is he the one that's been walking around and just doing those knocking? Let's play this. Can you tell me who shot you? What's their name? And what did they use? Please tell me. Come up to this as close as you can and try and shout it or tell me clearly, please.
Moments later, another disturbance comes from the woods.
Something big was crashing through there then. It might be on the camera audio. Again, that's just dense forest. I've been looking to see if there's like any deer or anything, but I've not seen any animals at all.
This time, something large appears to crash through the dense forest nearby. Haunted Finders searches for a normal explanation, but he cannot see any deer or other animals moving between the trees. He has heard deer running through forests before, and to him, this sounds different. The investigation then produces the word screaming, immediately reminding Haunted Finders of a previous night in the same forest.
Screaming. We've heard that in here.
Have you?
Yeah, we came one night. I was here one night about midnight, and we was in the section of probably half a mile in that direction, and all of a sudden there was just this horrible screaming sound, really loud, like screaming. It sounded like a woman was being attacked.
During that earlier visit, he and his team heard an extremely loud scream that sounded almost like a woman being attacked. They later researched animals native to the area, trying to identify what they had heard, but never found a sound that seemed to match it. With unexplained knocks and heavy movement now surrounding them again, this quiet section of Sherwood Forest has once more given Haunted Finders something difficult to explain. Wild Bear shares calm wilderness adventures, usually focused on hiking, camping, and spending time alone outdoors. For this autumn trip, she sets up a relaxing day camp in the woods. Her plan is to carve a pumpkin, prepare some warm food, and remain there after sunset to see whether anything unusual happens. She begins by hollowing out the pumpkin before deciding to carve it into a bear. What starts as a simple Halloween activity slowly turns into a strange-looking creation she names Scary Bear.
and I need to decide what to do for a face. I was going to try a scary bear, but I don't think I can pull that off. Mouth like that. Let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? I don't know what any of these gadgets are for particularly. Make an eye here. Oh, oh, wow, that's amazing. Oh, that's so easy.
The face gradually takes shape as she adds eyes, a rounded nose, sharp teeth, and heavy eyebrows. By the time she finishes, the pumpkin looks surprisingly intimidating and becomes the perfect companion for the darker part of the evening.
Oh yeah, he looks like a right meanie now. That's what he needed. He just needed eyebrows. Well, that's not too bad actually. Rawr. Oh.
With the carving finished, she warms rice pudding over the fire and adds cinnamon. For now, the woodland remains peaceful, with nothing more unsettling than the approaching darkness.
A little bit of cinnamon as well. Perfect. Hey guys, I think it's going to be getting dark soon, which is very exciting, and hopefully some nice ghouls will come out and give us a bit of a spook. You never know.
Once the fire has burned down, Wild Bear prepares for the final part of the trip.
I think I'm going to burn through the rest of this wood and then I'm going to sit in the dark and wait for the ghosts. Right, it's dark and my coals are out and nice and cold. I'm going to turn all my lights off now and sit in the hot seat here in the dark. I've got 2 trail cams out facing the chair, so you'll be able to see me, but I won't be able to see anything apart from maybe Scary Bear there. We'll leave him on. And yeah, we'll see if we can get some ghosts to come and talk to us. Oh, I do hope so. Okay, I hope the trail cams are working, picking me up. They're motion detectors, so hopefully they're on, otherwise.
She places 2 motion-activated trail cameras facing her chair, switches off her lights, and sits beside the glowing pumpkin. Unable to see much beyond Scary Bear, she calls into the forest and invites any ghosts or other entities to make contact. A series of deep, growling noises suddenly comes from nearby.
Is anyone here? Make a sound. If there's a spirit here, make a sound.
In the darkness, the sound could easily be mistaken for something threatening, although it is actually a fallow deer calling just outside the camera's view. She continues asking for a sign. Moments later, something begins crunching through the leaves around her chair.
Ghosts?
Another deer sound erupts without warning, startling her as she waits for a response.
Well, so far, no ghosts. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any ghosts tonight. Maybe they're here, they're just shy. Ghosts can be shy, can't they? Ghosties!
If you're a frustrated entity, make yourself known.
More rustling and animal calls follow, but no ghost ever reveals itself. Wild Bear eventually accepts that the forest's real inhabitants are the only visitors joining her that night. CJ Faison travels to unusual and reportedly dangerous locations, often testing how close he can get before someone intervenes. In this video, he and Sunny park an RV near the back gate of Area 51 and watch the activity beyond the restricted boundary. While reviewing sped-up footage from their first night, CJ notices a red light crossing the frame. A second unidentified object then appears higher in the sky.
Into this footage is sped up, but right here where that arrow is, you're going to see a red light going to the right, and then up at the top of your screen right about now, there is now a, don't even know what that is, to be honest with you, but it is moving across the screen, as you all can see, and that red light is just now out of sight, out of mind. I did leave this in here too. I don't know exactly what this is, kind of made me question some things, but it glimpses in, disappears, and then blinks a little bit and goes back the other way. Again, I'm not sure what that is. This is for all of us to decide. You know, I'm not some scientist or like super crazy researcher here, but definitely some of the weirder things happened. And again, this is just our first night out there.
After hours without seeing the security vehicles known as the Camo Dudes, CJ decides to provoke a reaction.
But I kind of want to run a test here. And this is what we're going to do next. We're going to run a test to see if we can get the Camo Dudes to come back outside the gate again and roll by us. So I'm going to go get a flashlight. I'm just going to wave it around a little bit up in the sky, kind of at the gate, a little bit around, and see if they come back out, because we've not seen them in probably, what, an hour, 2 hours maybe?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a hot minute, so.
He takes a powerful flashlight outside and begins sweeping it toward the gate and across the sky. Before he can continue, they notice an unexplained reflection sitting in the field.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Look. See it? That reflection right there?
Oh, yeah, the field. What is it?
I have no idea. Hang on. Let me get that on camera. That right there.
Neither man can determine what is producing it. When CJ zooms his camera toward the gate, 3 blinking red lights become visible above it.
No, you're good, you're good. I'm seeing something. So you see as you all can see, that really bright red light, and then there's there's like 3 more red lights that are blinking way above it. Sonny, come here, quick. The camera can see it, but us to the naked eye, we can't see this. Come here. What is it? Come over here. So, see the red light right here? Look at these 3. One's moving to, 2 are moving to the right, one's moving to the left. You can't see it with the naked eye.
Oh, no shit. They're blinking.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
What the hell is that?
I have no idea. I literally just zoomed into the gate to like see if we can see headlights coming this way after I, basically flashed them.
2 move in one direction while the third separates and travels the opposite way. Strangely, the camera can see them more clearly than their own eyes can. Another object suddenly crosses the lower part of the recording. Its movement does not resemble the straight path of an ordinary aircraft, leaving CJ unsure what the camera captured.
There is some type of anomaly that flies across from right to left, and the flight path of this is not normal at all, as you can see. Okay, this is nuts. Okay.
At that exact moment, their radiation meter begins sounding an alarm.
Ask him if I turn that light up.
What's going off? What is that? It's going off. The radiation meter. Look.
Dude, I'm getting inside.
Look at this. Look.
What the fuck is happening?
It's going off like crazy right now.
We just got zapped
What
with
the
something.
fuck? Seriously?
They just shot something at us. Something just shot something at us.
It jumped up. Okay, so that met the threshold, dude. This goes off when it meets your threshold. 00.63 was our max right there. Continuous for not. almost 8.5 seconds.
The reading jumps sharply and remains elevated for several seconds. Both men react as though something has been directed toward their position. CJ grabs his chair and prepares to run, even though there is nowhere nearby to hide. The next morning, a white security truck approaches the RV. The driver stops long enough to record their license plate before circling away without speaking to them.
Bro, they're fucking coming in. They're coming in. Yo, they're getting our tag number, bro. They're getting our tag number. What are they doing?
Oh shit, he stopped right there.
Bro, what the fuck is going on? Come on. What are you doing? It's a great content. Wave at him. They just got the tag number. Oh shit. You ain't gotta wave back.
Later, as they stand near another gate, the barrier suddenly lowers. Back inside the RV, they discover that the vehicle will no longer start.
Dude, did they zap the fucking RV? Is this real?
Dude, what the...
I'm laughing because I'm trying to get through this moment, but this is like, you see this, right?
With another truck moving nearby, the situation begins to feel increasingly uncomfortable. The engine eventually starts after several attempts, allowing them to move away from the restricted area. Ray Gloom's real-life encounters documents isolated hikes where ordinary wildlife can quickly become a serious threat. During this trip, Ray is moving alone through a remote wilderness area when he begins hearing something in the trees above him.
And that's a good attack place for a tick. Oh. Just a moment there, I thought I heard like something was moving. Okay, wait, I'm gonna be quiet for just a second.
The sound returns as he continues downhill. At first, he considers the possibility of squirrels or another small animal, but the movement sounds much heavier than expected.
Okay. No, I heard it again. Okay, there is something up there. I'm not hearing it now.
Ray begins to wonder whether he disturbed something on the hill and whether it is now following him. Just as his camera battery dies, a loud thud comes from nearby.
There isn't something following me, is there? Well, that's a creepy notion. Something up there. I disturbed something up there and it's following me. Okay, I heard something now. Is it working? Sorry guys, my battery died there. Okay, I got it back out. Got my camera back out again. Gosh, that's too bad. I heard a loud thud right as the battery died, and I didn't get it on film.
Later, another heavy movement erupts farther up the slope.
Oh! Okay, that was loud. Okay, something moved up there, and it did not sound really small or anything. I am going to attempt to use my zoom lens. See if I see something up there.
Ray raises his zoom lens and searches the trees, but nothing clearly steps into view. The movement happens again in the same area. He turns the camera as quickly as possible, yet whatever made the noise stops before he can locate it. Ray becomes increasingly convinced that something followed him down from the hill. He briefly sees movement between the trees, but it disappears without producing the sound of an animal running away.
It's just... something about this just isn't working out right, though. It's just like a quick move and then it stops. And I know I saw something move, but it was gone fast. But then I didn't hear a bunch of rustling, like it was running off somewhere, but I couldn't see it.
He considers whether it could be a moose. However, several details do not fit. His greater concern is that a mountain lion may be quietly tracking him. The situation becomes more serious when Ray remembers that he left his bear spray at home. He decides not to camp in the area and begins planning a careful retreat. While watching through the zoomed camera, he thinks he sees something moving around his position.
Wait. I may have just seen something move right there. Oh, it is so nice to have a zoom camera. Okay, I'm actually looking down at my camera. It can actually see further than my own eyes when I zoom in.
The possible animal appears to be changing direction, as though attempting to get behind him. Ray slowly backs away while keeping his attention on the trees. A squirrel then begins making warning calls from the same direction, suggesting that something larger may still be moving nearby. Even after reaching another section of the forest, he cannot shake the feeling of being watched.
Okay, I'm still not hearing or seeing anything, but I get like the distinct feeling that something is watching me. There's something back there around somewhere. I think it's a mountain lion. It moved over there. It's over there somewhere. I feel like it knows I'm here and it's watching me. You can hear my every move.
The woods become quiet enough that every step feels exposed. An unfamiliar call suddenly comes from behind him.
Okay, what is that? What am I hearing? Okay, I don't think that's a mountain lion. No mountain lion sounds like that. What is that even? It's like not an elk or a moose. Certainly not a mountain lion. What even sounds like that?
It does not sound like a moose, elk, or mountain lion. Ray immediately drops to the ground, too frightened to continue moving. The creature eventually seems to move back uphill. As soon as the sound fades, Ray chooses the opposite direction and leaves the area without attempting to identify it. Genevieve creates personal travel videos centered on new experiences and solo adventures. During a road trip through Colorado, she decides to spend the night alone at a remote mountain campground. Rather than using a tent, she plans to sleep inside her car because it feels more secure.
So I decided a few weeks ago that it was really important to me to go to Telluride and do a camping trip by myself. And I'm not going to be camping in a tent. It's going to be like a real car camp. Like I'm going to sleep in my car. And I decided that made me feel like a lot safer, I guess.
As night approaches, Genevieve admits that the isolation is affecting her more than expected.
But I don't know, it's just, I'm so not used to this. Like I'm not used to camping, I'm not used to sleeping in my car. And I'm feeling, I guess, that like loneliness of realizing like if someone else was here, I would not feel this anxious. But it's like the fact that I'm alone, I'm like so far away from home and also just far away from like after driving 4 miles up the freaking wagon trail, and just realizing like I'm just kind of like we're definitely set back up here, and I don't know, it's just kind of overwhelming.
She knows the car offers protection, but being alone so far from home makes every sound outside feel more significant. A sudden screeching noise comes from the woods and immediately frightens her.
Oh, the other thing I was gonna say is totally like some animal in the woods, like scared the crap out of me. I have no idea what it was. I think it was a moose. It made kind of a moose noise. But so like kind of, I won't show you because you can't really see anyway, but like kind of across from my campsite, there's another trail that looks like it used to be a campsite, but they closed it and they have like a thing up that's like for restoration. And I just, because I'm just like walking around bored, I just decided to walk up there to the hilltop and just like take some pictures and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like there was like, so it's like you're on the hill and it's like a little bit open, but like there's a bunch of trees and stuff like right behind. All of a sudden this loud, like, I don't even know how to describe it. This is why I don't know what animal it was. I don't even know what kind of noise this was, but it felt like kind of like a screechy, like I'm assuming like a moose noise.
She cannot determine whether she saw a head, antlers, or an entire animal. Her best guess is that it may have been a moose, but the dark figure remains hidden in the shadows near her campsite. Before sleeping, Genevieve reflects on how much anxiety the experience has created. She tries to stop imagining worst-case scenarios and reminds herself that uncertainty does not automatically mean something bad will happen. After attempting to sleep, her fears return.
I just could not stop thinking about all of my like worst case scenarios of what I thought was gonna happen throughout the night and how worried I was about not sleeping, and then I really had to pee, and that was freaking me out because I so did not want to get out of the car. Like there was no part of me that was like, it was like pitch black outside. I was like, I am not getting out of this car.
The forest is completely still, and she becomes increasingly reluctant to leave the car, even though she desperately needs to use the bathroom. She climbs into the front seat and unlocks the car from inside, hoping to avoid making noise.
Like my plan was like, okay, just take your shorts off. You're just gonna open the door, basically pee like next to the car, and just get right back in and it's gonna be fine. So that did not happen. So it's like midnight and I clamber into the front seat, half naked. I go to unlock the car from the inside of the car, like that button that's inside the door. The car unlocks, cool, no sound. But then I go to open the door and the alarm, like so loud. And again, it's like midnight.
Genevieve manages to silence it by starting the engine. Although embarrassing, stepping outside allows her to see the stars and briefly realize that nothing threatening is standing around the vehicle. She finally falls asleep, only to wake around 5 in the morning to a distinctly human-sounding tapping against the car.
I fell asleep, woke up around 2, was like weirdly wide awake at 2, and then like saw my watch and was like, oh my god, it's only 2. And I was like awake for like an hour, fell asleep probably again around 3, and then I was awoken around 5 by like someone tapping on my car. And it was like a very human sound. Like it was as if someone was out there like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's probably like my camp neighbors. They're probably coming to like tell me how I ruined their night because of my car alarm. But no, I so wish I got this on film because I feel like you guys won't even believe it. But on my, I'm just gonna like show you like the back of my car here. There's that little stand. And I hear the tapping. I don't know where it's coming from. And so I just like, I'm like looking all over the place. I'm like, oh my gosh, where's that coming from? And I didn't see it. And then the last place I look, and there's this like big ass bird, like right there.
After searching every window, she discovers a large bird perched on the back of the vehicle. It stares inside and repeatedly flaps against the glass before flying away, bringing the strange night to a harmless end. Exploring with Angelo visits remote locations connected to paranormal stories and unexplained encounters. After finishing his camp setup, Angelo notices something unusual in his peripheral vision.
Anyway, I'll enjoy my meal, and then I think all I gotta do is just organize a few things and we're pretty much good to go. So this is kind of strange. The sun hasn't even fully set yet. We're getting there, probably another 40 minutes or so. But every time I look off in this direction, I swear I see a person, like just kind of in the corner of my eye, and then I look and there's no one there. Also, my hand feels weird, but that's another story.
He repeatedly thinks he sees a person standing nearby, but whenever he turns to look, no one is there. As the evening becomes quieter, movement begins in the trees again. Angelo also hears another metallic sound from the direction of an empty trailer farther along the property.
It's been relatively quiet, surprisingly. I thought I heard some kind of movement, like there in the trees. I don't know if the person is back there at their trailer. I heard a clank too, so they might actually be back. We will go down that direction afterwards. I haven't even been down by the river, been so busy dealing with the camp.
A childlike laugh suddenly comes from behind the campsite.
I just heard like a child laughing back there. Maybe those people did come back and their kids like running around or laughing or something. Don't know.
He initially assumes that a family may have returned to the trailer, although he cannot see anyone nearby. During a spirit box session, more movement is heard around the camp. The possibility that no children are actually present makes the earlier laughter much harder to explain. Angelo walks down toward the water and hears something moving near the shoreline.
I think. Oh yeah, I see the sand dunes. I just heard something move in the water, but before that I heard a child like laughing again. Which is weird because I thought I heard that and there's no one here. I mean, I definitely heard that earlier. Hello? There's no one here.
Before that sound, the same childlike laugh returns. He checks the surrounding area and confirms that no one is visible. Farther into the darkness, he briefly believes he sees a pair of eyes.
I think I just saw eyes. There are wolves out here. We do gotta be cautious. I thought I saw eyes. Unless it was just a reflection from my light.
A moment later, a distinct voice answers from somewhere beyond his flashlight.
Alright, let's just backtrack and go back this way for now. That was a voice. Hello? It's weird because the voices are not. Is that a fish?
Unusual clicking and movement continue from across the water. Each time Angelo turns away, another sound seems to come from the same direction.
What's that? Someone's making some weird noises over there. Is there something in the water that I can't see?
Back at camp, a noise erupts from inside the tent. Angelo immediately checks it and finds nothing there, even though the sound resembled a child moving around inside.
That sounded like it was from in the tent. There's no one in there. Okay, that's weird. I'm really confused. What in the hell just happened?
Something then approaches through the darkness. His camera unexpectedly detects the shape of a person near the trees, and a low growl follows from the same area.
It just sounded like something was coming. Right direction. Okay, that's weird. My camera's focusing on a person. Okay, right there. I heard a growl though.
The atmosphere changes again as the camera locks onto an invisible human figure beside him rather than focusing on Angelo.
Also, I can see my camera is focusing on a person right here. That is really strange. It's not even like focusing on me. Why is it doing that?
Movement comes close to the campsite and something appears to strike the tent.
I don't know what that was. I heard like movement and then it sounded like something hit the tent, I think. What the hell is my shoe here? I did not put that there. So confused. Okay. That was weird.
Angelo cannot see what caused it, but the repeated sounds make it clear that the night is not as empty as it first appeared. Near Shadows explores isolated locations using apps and devices intended to generate paranormal responses. During this investigation, Jeremy follows a Randonautica coordinate down a long road and discovers that it has led him to an unfamiliar cemetery.
Mount Hope Cemetery? Holy shit. This road is creepy. Oh, there's a car coming, man. Hold on.
The area is almost completely dark when he steps outside. Before entering the cemetery, he can already hear movement around the property.
Alright, guys. I'm already hearing noises. This is like the oldest cemetery I've ever seen. I think it's starting to snow a little. Guys, smash that like button. Do I? Oh, please tell me I have my... Oh, whew, my flashlight. Look at this, guys. Look at... What the heck? Mount Hope Cemetery.
Near the entrance, Jeremy notices a disturbing doll attached to a tree. For a moment, he believes it may be something real watching him from above.
This is a lot creepy, actually. What the heck is that? Jesus. Is that's not real? Is that real? No, that's not real. Whew, that scared the shit out of me. Look at, up on the tree right there. It's like a little bear statue.
Beside the doll, he finds a paper describing a girl named Mary Poole.
Mount Hope Settlement. Mount Hope Settlement Ledger 1846. Entry number 27. Name Mary Poole. Age 7 years. Status lost. Lost is like all capitalized. Notes of the gravekeeper. The settler's child Mary Poole was found wandering near the northern ridge. Mud upon the hem of her dress, eyes fixed toward the hollow beyond the oaks. No guardian nearby, no tracks but hers.
The message suggests that she entered the woods alone and later heard a voice that did not belong to her.
When spoken to, the child did not answer. She lifted her hand, pointed toward the old stones, the ones left unmarked by the traveling person. I felt a coldness along my spine at her gesture. A whisper followed, though not from her lips. "Do you hear me now?" with a question mark. Further remarks. Second occurrence this month of communication attempted near the Poole family plots. The child appears only at dusk, never in full daylight. The air grows still before her arrival. Recommendation: mark the area, return with caution. The girl seeks a voice to answer her. What does that mean?
Jeremy activates the Spirit Talker application. Almost immediately, it produces phrases about making contact and controlling the graveyard.
Oh, okay, let's get it going.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. Right. Oh, shit.
We're making contact.
We're making contact. Okay, guys, bear with me.
I control this place.
You control this place? I'm genuinely getting the creep.
Graveyard.
Yes, we are in a graveyard. Okay, I'm turning this light around. I can't see. It's creeping me out.
While examining an unusual wooden burial marker, Jeremy hears footsteps moving through the cemetery. The device then states that someone remembers their death.
Is this a burial, guys? Hello? It sounded like somebody just went doo-doo, like took footsteps going this way.
I remember my death.
You remember your death? Who's buried here? Guys, why is this wooden?
Another sound comes from the surrounding cornfield. At the same moment, the application claims that the communicating presence is only 7 years old. A high-pitched scream carries across the field.
What the fuck is that? Sounds like women screaming in the corn. Or coyotes.
Jeremy considers whether it could be coyotes, although it sounds disturbingly similar to women screaming. A metallic creaking begins somewhere beyond the graves. It resembles an old swing moving back and forth, despite there being no playground nearby. Jeremy notices several glowing eyes watching him from the field.
Yeah, I heard your voice. I don't mean any harm. What the hell? There's something in the field with glowing eyes. What the fuck is that? They're watching me, whatever it is. 2 glowing eyes. 3. Who's over there? What's over there?
More points of light appear as he continues filming. A howl then travels through the cemetery.
Or is there some...
Nervous.
What the fuck was that? This sounds like a wolf. What the... Oh my god, this sounds like a wolf howling. This sounds like a wolf, man. Guys, that's a wolf. There's no wolves here. Oh my god. Why does that sound like a wolf?
Vengeance.
Where's my... I thought I lost my flashlight. There it is again.
Jeremy says it sounds exactly like a wolf, even though wolves are not normally found in the area. Heavy movement follows through the leaves around him. Near one of the older graves, intense warmth suddenly spreads across his back.
Do you want to be friends with me?
Lie.
Lie? I have this really bad heat. This heat on my back, my lower right back. I mean, it's not a painful feeling or anything. It's kind of comforting, but it's. Do you have your arms around me right now from the back?
Jeremy feels as though someone has wrapped their arms around him, and he becomes overwhelmed by sadness until the name Beverly appears. While crouching beside the grave, something strikes his foot from beneath the ground. The spirit talker immediately becomes hostile, prompting Jeremy to apologize and step away.
If that was you who put your arms around me, thank you for sharing. Seems like you had a lot of sadness and loss in your life.
As he prepares to leave, dizziness and pressure build in his chest. Feeling surrounded, he firmly tells every presence in the cemetery that none of them has permission to follow him home. Cursed Urban is a paranormal exploration channel run by Dan, who frequently investigates forests connected to strange sightings and unexplained activity. For this trip, he is joined by his friend Colby as they return to an area they call the Bigfoot Forest. Before darkness fully settles over the trail, the two hear a faint knock coming from somewhere deeper in the woods.
Cool, guys. Well, probably head back to the main trail from here. Maybe head back to the car, re-up on our bug spray, and then head back in.
Yeah, by the time we get back, it should be dark.
Easily. Whoa.
There's a bird.
Yeah, yo!
What? No.
That was a knock. Very quiet. You heard that, right?
At first I didn't, and then it processed.
Colby initially needs a moment to process the sound, but Dan recognizes it immediately. He has heard similar knocks in this same area during previous investigations.
But that was for sure a knock. Very quiet. Yeah, no, I don't blame you for not picking that up right away, because hearing it enough times, that's what I know to listen for.
Yeah.
But but if you don't know, it kind of just sounds like whatever, you know? But when that stuff happens close to you, within 20, 30 feet, dude, it's crazy. That's what we're looking for, though. That was definitely a knock back there.
Once the forest becomes almost completely dark, they stop in an area where Colby has been feeling uneasy. They switch to night vision and begin an EVP session, introducing themselves and asking whether anyone is present.
If there's anyone here with us right now, my name is Dan. This is my friend Colby. We mean you no harm. All we are interested in is learning more about this land, learning more about your home. We do not mean to trespass or take anything from you or away from here. So I'm going to be using a device. Simply speak to it like you were speaking to us, and we'll be able to hear you and maybe hear what you have to say. So let me get going here.
When they replay one of their recordings, a clear voice appears to say hello.
No way.
That was clear as day. That was a hello. It wasn't anybody talking over there.
My heart just dropped. My stomach just dropped. Something.
That was
The response sounds extremely close, almost as though someone had been standing beside them. Seconds later, another knock comes from the direction of a strange structure they believe could be a Bigfoot nest.
Yo!
That's over there.
Dude, that's
right over there.
That is over. You know what? Dude, you know what that is? Over there?
Is that the
That's
nest?
where the nest is.
Let me pull my out. Alright, we heard it right somewhere over there.
Focus camera. The camera's not focusing. There we go. Dude, that came from right. That sounded like a knock. That sounded like another knock, right?
Yeah. Because I slightly heard that one earlier. That sounded like it was right over there.
Yeah, that was close.
They decide to follow the sound and make their way toward the structure. The forest grows unusually quiet as they arrive, with almost no wildlife making noise around them. Without warning, something lands beside them with the sound of a heavy rock.
Bro, it's so quiet out here now. It's literally...
Bro, it sounded like a rock.
No, I saw something, dude. Something just...
That sounded like a rock, and it was right next to us.
Something was thrown at us.
That scared the shit out of me.
No, something was thrown at us. I saw something like land, like right by us. You see anything?
I don't see shit. I hear a frog. That's the only wildlife I've heard in a while, too.
Oh! Yo, that way. Something just broke a tree back there. That was a loud ass crack, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That was a loud ass crack.
We going to look?
No, I don't think we should.
For real?
Dude, we should never come here.
Is it usually not this serious out here?
No, it's never been like this.
When they find a large rock nearby, Dan worries that something may have deliberately thrown it toward them. A deep growl erupts close to the structure.
See, maybe this was a mistake, dude. Holy f***. All right, now it's time to go.
That was a growl. Go.
Now it's time.
Go.
I don't even know.
Dude, that was a growl.
Where's the trail?
Up here. Yo, dude, that was... The main trail's right up here.
Both men immediately run toward the main trail, convinced that the sound came from something large.
Dude, that was a growl. 100%.
Yes.
What do you think it was?
I don't know. It was loud and deep.
As they continue toward the car, movement in the trees appears to block their route. With their lights turned off, Colby spots two glowing eyes behind a tree at a height of roughly 8 feet.
Kill lights. Something is trying to cut us off right now.
You think so?
Absolutely. Where do we go?
So you think whatever was throwing stuff at it, like...
It's trying to cut us off. That's where that just came from. Oh.
Yeah, lights off and just like press our way out.
Are you getting in front with the night vision?
Yeah, I got you. I just... Right up behind that tree, I just saw two eyes standing like 8 feet tall. I saw two glowing eyes. And then we heard that noise.
More sounds begin answering one another from different parts of the forest. Believing that multiple creatures may be communicating, they keep moving until they finally reach safety outside the trees. Paranormal Discovery explores isolated locations associated with cryptids and unexplained energy. During this investigation, the group camps beside a lake in an area known for frequent grisly activity. Despite the risk, one investigator decides to enter the forest alone after dark.
Well, I'm about to go off into the darkness by myself. I just wanted to mention this before I do go off. So, where we are right now is a very hefty, established grizzly habitat. So, yeah, we're in grizzly country, so I got this. That's one thing that I am worried about. But we do have to be very, very careful.
Once away from camp, he follows a narrow trail through the woods. The wind has died down, allowing him to hear strange barking sounds coming from somewhere across the lake.
Oh boy, the wind too died down, so we're gonna hear things a lot clearer now. Alright, I had to crop it a bit for stability, so it should be a lot more stable now. is very creepy. Hello? I'm looking for the Caribou Sasquatch. Hearing like barking. What is that? It's literal barking.
The barking becomes louder as he discovers another path.
What the f*** is that? Okay. It's getting louder the more I...
The moment he switches the setting on his flashlight, a sudden sound comes from the darkness, and the barking abruptly stops.
Whoa! Whoa! What the fuck was that? Right when I changed my light. What's there? And that barking stopped. What the f just happened? Okay. Okay.
His confidence begins to fade as an intense feeling settles over the area. He describes the energy as ancient and unsettling. While scanning the trees, he briefly sees a shadow moving ahead of him.
Hello? Okay, I just saw like a shadow. Deadass, just saw a shadow.
When he activates the brighter spotlight again, another disturbance immediately follows. Each time the stronger light is used, something appears to react from beyond the trees.
There's a bunch of moss on these trees, bro. This is scary looking. What made that sound though? Like change the light. The spotlight. Oh my fucking. Oh shit. Yo. Yo. What the fuck is there? What is that? It doesn't like the spotlight. What's there? It doesn't like the spotlight. Whoa. Whoa. Are you f***ing kidding me? Okay. Okay, I'll leave it on this. What the f***? Dead ass. Does not like the spotlight.
He calls into the forest and asks whether a Bigfoot is nearby. After attempting to create a knocking sound with a stick, the entire area becomes strangely silent.
Can you reply to this? One sec. Make it louder. Can you reply to this, please? If you were a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. This keeps breaking. It's the best stick I can find, but. Whoa. Oh, shit.
His throat suddenly becomes dry and uncomfortable. At the same time, another distinct knock comes from the woods.
Oh man, something's in my throat. Ah. Oh shit. It's really throwing me off here. Like really throwing me off. Hello? There it is, there it is, there it is. Street dog. Yeah, that's some sort of knock. Oh, what is going on?
He begins tearing up and struggles to understand why his body is reacting so strongly. Movement continues around the trail as he uses a spirit communication application. The device mentions bad energy just as the pressure in his throat returns. A final sound comes from farther down the path. Although he wants to continue, the feeling becomes too intense.
Hello? What the Oh. What was that? It came from down there.
Wholeness.
Wholeness? Okay. Fuck, I feel like I went way too far to not do this. I don't want to pussy out, you know what I mean? I came all the way to the West Coast and I don't want to pussy out here. Oh my God.
He finally listens to his instincts and begins retreating. While trying to leave, he temporarily loses the path in the darkness. He eventually finds his way back, deciding that whatever was deeper in the forest was not worth following. Outdoor girl Sophie shares peaceful solo adventures in the Scandinavian wilderness. On the warmest day recorded in Denmark for 80 years, she heads into a coastal forest for an overnight camping trip.
My name is Sophie. We are in the middle of a heat wave, and today is actually the warmest day that has been recorded in Denmark for 80 years. It is extremely warm, but I did decide to come out here in the forest and do some camping.
However, the forecast is already warning of thunder and heavy rain. After a long and exhausting hike through the heat, Sophie finally reaches the coastline. The beach appears calm and inviting, giving her a chance to cool down before choosing a place to camp.
That was a really long and tough hike.
Finding a tent spot proves more uncomfortable than expected.
Pretty nice to put up the tent here, but I don't really know if I dare. There's still a lot of people on the beach, but I guess I'm not harming anyone by camping here. But I'm not sure if everyone agrees, and I really don't like if people get mad at me or think I'm doing something annoying.
Several people are still using the beach, and Sophie worries that someone may object to her camping there. With evening approaching, she eventually decides to set up anyway. Inside the tent, the heat remains intense. Small insects begin gathering outside, which Sophie believes could be thunderflies arriving ahead of the predicted cloudburst. As the beach empties, she attaches the tent's outer layer in preparation for the storm.
So now I'm ready for that thunderstorm, and now I actually think I'm gonna jump to bed, even though it is just so warm. I am sweating from just sitting still.
Despite the temperature, she settles down and attempts to sleep. Not long afterward, thunder begins rumbling in the distance and lightning flashes outside. The storm still sounds far away, so she stays inside and hopes it will pass without reaching the beach. By early morning, the conditions have completely changed. Heavy rain has fallen through the night, and the wind is now strong enough to push against the unsupported tent. Her boyfriend calls to warn her that the wind is expected to become much worse by 8 o'clock. Sophie packs everything she can while remaining inside.
So I got everything packed up inside the tent. Now I guess I have to get out there in the rain and pack the tent down. I'm wearing a wool t-shirt and my hiking pants. Not sure how that's gonna be, but yeah, there's nothing else I can do.
She then steps into the rain and quickly takes down the tent, becoming soaked almost immediately because she brought no waterproof clothing.
I got everything packed up super quickly and I'm already soaking wet. This was not a good idea to not bring any rain gear. Now I have to walk for an hour to get back to the car.
Instead of the peaceful swim and morning coffee she had imagined, she begins the long walk back through the wet forest. She reaches the car shortly before the wind is expected to peak, relieved that she left the exposed beach before the worst of the storm arrived. Chesa Chad explores abandoned and reportedly haunted buildings. In this video, he enters the former Remington Arms ammunition factory, where workers were killed during a deadly industrial explosion. As Chad moves deeper into the factory, the floor becomes increasingly dangerous.
I wish they didn't cover it in plastic, man. It would look cooler. Look at this thing. Whoa, dude. Look at this. This thing used to just like roll right across here. See this thing on wheels here, bro?
What?
Dude, check this out. Something, yeah. Look at this guy.
You know what? This dumped into the holes.
Yeah, it rolls back and forth. There's a bunch of holes here.
He reaches an area filled with holes and narrowly avoids stepping into one of them. The investigators discuss the building's history while examining the machinery. They explain that ammunition once exploded inside the factory, killing several workers whose deaths were reported in local newspapers.
People that were working here during the explosion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, ammunition blew up.
Yeah. Ammunition blew up. Pretty crappy way to go, man. That wasn't the best day of work for those guys.
Despite warning tape blocking the way, they climb toward another level.
I'm brave.
Brave.
That's the word most people use with me. I'm brave. Now, let me turn my camera around. All right. They cautioned off this floor, and it's gotta be for a reason. Oh, you know why? Because that floor we were just on, we just talked about the ceiling caving in. So that's why.
See these pipes, bro?
Hey, where does this go?
Look down.
Oh my God.
Look up. Look upwards. There's boards way up there.
The ceiling below is already collapsing, and massive pieces of concrete hang above the unstable walkways. Higher inside the building, Chad crawls into an enormous industrial machine.
Whoa, look. Hey, look up, guys. Look up. Right here, inside the machine. There's a machine that goes all the way up. I'm literally inside of it right now. Literally inside of it. This is crazy. I probably shouldn't be, because if this thing falls, I probably wouldn't die in here. Dude, look at this.
Cast metal in there.
What am I stepping on? Okay.
Shoot it down the chute, melt it up.
Old molten metal is still hardened across its interior, while the open structure leaves him dangerously exposed to the floors below. Chad calls out and asks whether anyone is present. His camera screen suddenly begins flickering, something he says he has never seen it do before.
One's flickering.
I've never seen it flicker like that before.
Yeah, right.
It's weird.
Oh!
What was that?
I just seen something. Up in the top right, those tubes. To the right, Herm. Right
there. There it is.
Back. It's back.
It looks like a guy working.
Dude.
He's working on the tubes.
Oh my God, look. Herm, where are you?
Don't move it from there.
Yeah, don't move.
Keep it right on that.
A figure appears on the screen near a row of tubes. Its movements resemble a man working on the old equipment.
To it, dude. It's just chilling there.
Which way do I go?
You're right.
Look at that.
Yeah, but you have to go.
Go around the machine, dude. He's sitting there chilling, dude. Don't try to touch him.
He's got to be working on those tubes or something.
Yeah,
He's a
there you
worker.
go.
As Chad attempts to approach, the figure disappears. The shape returns in the same area several times. Each appearance seems connected to the tubes, leading the group to wonder whether a worker may have died while operating the machinery. They continue watching as the figure appears behind a metal railing and then returns to the tubes.
It looks like over here is where that spirit was working. Looked like he was working on those tube things. Never seen him again behind this fence right here. Metal railings is where we've seen him last. So let's see what else we can catch.
There he is.
There he is. He's working on the tubes again, man. Oh, now he just...
Dude, it looked like he shot towards us.
That is crazy, man. There's something about those tubes. They're attached to them.
There's the molten tubes.
Maybe somebody fell in it and died, and they're just like attached to it.
Yeah, like maybe they can't get out of it or something.
Well, thank you for coming out. You want to show yourself one more time? Get ready to wrap it up.
As the investigation ends, a small red object shoots through the frame.
You saw that?
Yeah, I got it.
You saw that?
Yeah, I got it on film. I don't know what it was.
It looked like an orb or something. It was red too. That was weird.
Red orb.
Yeah, it was red.
Well, we'll see it on the video.
Neither investigator sees it in person, but Chad believes the camera may have captured one final unexplained anomaly. Search for Supernatural investigates locations connected to paranormal stories and unexplained activity. For this video, the team visits a remote ranch surrounded by woods, where strange whistles, footsteps, and knocking sounds had already been reported before filming began. The investigators walk toward a bridge where a woman and her child are said to have died during the 1800s.
I'll tell you this, man. It's about as quiet as could be. A lady died here in the 1800s, and her child drowned here. And they say you can hear what sounds like, I don't know, a baby crying or something.
Here we go.
So here's the bridge. I don't know, man.
As they step farther over the water, they hear a faint sound resembling a woman crying.
I mean,
you hear that? That sounded like a crying. You hear that?
I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it sounds like a lady crying.
Sounds like she's whimpering, like, this is unreal.
A noise comes from the darkness beside the bridge. Both men begin feeling as though someone is watching whenever their lights are pointed in another direction.
Creepy feeling, dude.
I have a feeling that, like, someone's watching us, you know? Like, every time we look away, they're watching from our right, or, like, our left. It's crazy, man.
I've been many places in my journeys, in my in my background.
Oh, you heard that?
You got a flashlight, use it.
I am. I don't see anything.
We just heard. We just heard what sounded like something rustling right there.
Rustling then starts close to the trail. After leaving the bridge, one of them hears a man's voice behind them.
No, but if you turn around, if you feel something behind you, you gotta keep your light forward because you have that light behind you already. And then I'll turn.
So there's a story about an abandoned house up here.
Oh.
I just heard somebody's voice.
Nah, bro, I'm getting creeped out. Come on. This is crazy.
The other initially jokes that it was only his own voice, but the mood changes as they continue toward an abandoned house.
To the thing. I don't know if you can see it, but that trail is cut right.
What the fuck was that?
Alright. Let's get back on the fucking road.
A sudden noise erupts beside the narrow trail. Both investigators rush back toward the main road before noticing the abandoned house standing just ahead of them. As they pass the building, footsteps begin following them. One of the men spots what he believes is a person standing farther back in the darkness.
Nah, bro, come on. Stop this. You ain't doing this.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold up, there's somebody over here.
No, come on. I ain't doing that. Chill.
I'm dead ass.
Alright, chill. Come on, I'm not doing this.
Yo!
Yo, chill. Nah, please.
A faint female voice joins the footsteps. The sounds continue directly behind them whenever they start walking, causing both men to hurry away from the house.
Come on, I can't see anything over there.
You got a fucking flashlight. Bro!
What?
There was a lady's voice.
Nah, bro. I hear that. Dude, can we come on?
Bro, I'm hearing footsteps right behind me.
Wait, jump out of front.
Oh! Nah, bro, nah.
Once they reach the others, they explain that the voice sounded like an elderly woman calling from the woods. They also describe footsteps that repeatedly moved closer each time they stopped. Inside the house, they begin a spirit communication session. The device produces the word devil, followed by a statement about having been there for 500 years.
I want to leave now. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of want to leave now.
You saying the devil haunts this house? I've never heard that word come through. Ever.
I can't talk. What the fuck?
I've been here 500 years.
Dude, I want to leave. I'm not joking with you. I want to leave.
One investigator immediately wants to leave. The device then mentions a cupboard and describes the house as nasty. At the same moment, another sound comes from upstairs, increasing the tension inside the room.
It's very nasty here.
Why is it nasty here? What makes it nasty here?
I'm telling you.
You heard that upstairs?
Yes, can we get out of here?
Bro, stay put.
I'm not joking with you, bro. This is fucking scary as shit.
Settle the fuck down. Why are you tripping right now, bro? It's saying a couple words. What the fuck? We're good. You alright? This is what we came here to do. Why are you scaring my friend Luke?
Soon afterward, the room becomes noticeably cold, and the word river appears, possibly connecting the responses to the water behind the property. They finish in the basement, near an area believed to contain a portal. While setting up equipment, one investigator sees a light travel across the entire wall, although no clear source can be found.
What the fuck was that? Oh, sorry.
Hold up, dog. I just saw a light go across this wall all the way to back there. And I thought it was your camera. Hold on. Nah, bro, the light just went across the whole fucking wall. It went straight from here and went
I had it. I was looking that way with the camera.
Haunted Finders investigates historic locations using recording equipment and spirit communication devices. In this video, the family explores an unfamiliar section of Sherwood Forest, a place associated with centuries of folklore and paranormal encounters. They begin by placing a recorder beside the trail and asking whether anyone connected to the forest would like to communicate.
Is there anybody here connected to Sherwood Forest that would like to talk to us? My name's Tom, and this is my daughter Amelia. We just want to talk. Did you used to live inside the forest?
The questions focus on the people who may once have lived within the woods. During playback, a voice appears to begin with the phrase, "My name is," followed by words that are difficult to understand.
Did you used to live inside the forest?
Yeah.
The response is unclear, but it sounds noticeably different from the surrounding forest noise. They move deeper into the trees and try another recording. This time, the playback appears to contain a voice asking who they are or who goes there.
That's the 3 syllables at the end. Who goes there? We're intruding. That's someone who don't know who we are. That's asking, like, who are you? Who goes there? That's what they used to say. Who goes there?
Another recording produces what sounds like the word murder.
That's a murder. At the end.
The investigators acknowledge the response before deciding to continue farther along the trail. A spirit communication application begins forming a possible story. It mentions remains in the forest, followed by the phrases, "She shot me," and "challenge."
I can imagine that there are a lot of people that are buried here in unmarked graves. A lot happened in the history of this place. I can imagine there was a lot of death here.
She shot me.
She shot you. Who shot you? So that could be with what? A gun or an arrow?
While attempting to record a name, a loud knock suddenly comes from one of the trees. The sound is especially strange because they are surrounded by dense forest with no nearby paths.
Can you tell me what you were shot with? Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was like over there somewhere. It just sounded like someone was knocking on one of the trees, like really loud. I don't know if the microphone would have picked that up. But I did hear someone walking through there a minute ago as well. There's no paths here. This is all just dense forest.
The device then states that he is here. They ask whether this is the same presence that has been walking nearby and making the knocking sounds. Something heavy begins crashing through the undergrowth. They search for an animal, but see nothing moving between the trees.
Something big was crashing through there then. It might be on the camera audio. Again, that's just dense forest. I've been looking to see if there's like any deer or anything, but I've not seen any animals at all.
The footsteps sound heavier than the deer they have previously encountered. The word screaming appears through the device. This reminds them of a previous night in Sherwood Forest when they heard a woman-like scream that they were unable to match with any local animal. With several unusual responses recorded, the family ends the session and leaves the area calmly. They plan to review the voices more closely and return for a nighttime investigation. Creepy Travels begins a nighttime walk through a graveyard where the creator previously recorded one of his earliest unexplained encounters.
Hello, you sexy, perverted beast. We're down here at a graveyard. It is feeling a little creepy down here, though.
Almost immediately, he hears movement deeper among the graves.
I just heard something. This is a graveyard that don't have deers or nothing. Could be a dog, though. Hang on. I don't know. I keep hearing something. We're down into the deeper part of the graveyard.
While descending a steep bank, he notices what looks like somebody standing beside a tree.
I could have swore I just saw somebody standing next to that tree. This is where my first video I ever did come from, where I saw my first, I don't even think it was a shadow bastard. It went from the ground straight up into the air, real high up, and then it went back down. It did it several times right in front of me. Camera barely caught it, but it caught it. But in my eyes, I seen it clearly.
The figure disappears before he can get a clear view. He explains that a similar shadow had appeared during an earlier visit. On that occasion, it seemed to rise from the ground before dropping back down. As he returns to the same section of the cemetery, another sound comes from the darkness. He stops repeatedly, trying to decide whether an animal or a person is following him.
Then I would have had it saved. What in the hell was that? I don't think I want to see what that was.
Near one of the graves, he discovers an owl decoration and a clean pair of women's boots placed beside a tree.
Why would somebody put an owl on a grave? What is that? Those are a pair of boots. Those are a pair of Uggs. Aren't Uggs expensive? They're not wet. They're not damp. The bottoms are like brand new. The insides are like brand new. Those are Uggs.
The boots appear almost new, with little dirt or moisture on them. Their position seems unusual, especially because no one else appears to be nearby. A dark shape then becomes visible farther down the cemetery.
Hang on, we'll try to zoom. It disappeared again. The damn thing disappeared again. This is what happened on the other video, people. This is what happened on the other video. That's my car. This is exactly what happened on the other video. There'll be a shadow. And then it just disappears. Completely disappeared.
It remains in view for a moment before vanishing completely. The disappearance reminds him of what happened during his previous recording. As he tries to relocate it, he also notices recently disturbed soil around a grave belonging to someone who died years earlier.
Now this is fresh dug, but it was 2 years ago. This wasn't here last time. This has been redug. They died over 2 years ago, and this is fresh soil. That's a little weird. I just heard somebody holler out to me. What in the hell?
The figure appears again. Through the camera zoom, its posture briefly looks distorted, almost as though its knees bend the wrong way.
Let me try zooming back in, people. Alright, quality sucks when I do that. Sorry. That thing is distorted. It's hard to focus while it's on zoom. You just barely move the camera and it slings it. There it is. Now, is that a person or the shadow bastard? At one moment, it looked distorted, like its knees were bent backwards. Now it's gone. Now it's freaking gone. Every time it goes over here, it just disappears.
Before he can stabilize the image, it moves behind the trees and disappears once more. Believing the figure has moved toward his vehicle, he walks quickly through the cemetery. There is only one tree behind the car where someone could hide, yet he finds nobody there. As he prepares to leave, something suddenly runs across the concrete behind him.
I don't know if y'all heard that or not. Something made a noise right here at this fence. When you see my light and camera go different directions, that's me putting the light under my arm so I can use my hand to scratch under my shirt where something's eating me alive. I don't know. I don't see it no more. I've looked everywhere. It's that gum bugs.
The rapid footsteps are close enough to make him spin around, but the road is empty. With the cemetery still silent around his car, he decides it is time to go. Dead Appalachia heads into the rural mountains near Roan Mountain, Tennessee, to investigate 3 lesser-known locations. The first is an abandoned railroad tunnel associated with flood victims, fatal construction accidents, and rumors of occult gatherings.
But this tunnel has a history darker than pitch. According to many locals, this tunnel is frequented by a satanic cult. And some say this cult has done human sacrifices in the tunnel. Fucking yikes. I don't really believe that, as doing so would cause so much heat from the police to come raining down on them. But others say that they actually sacrifice like chickens and dogs and shit. I could see that. Does not really make me feel any better about the place. Also, in like 1924, the Doe River flooded the entire area, taking a good bit of folks off the census. And so people say that those people who died haunt the tunnel. Plenty of spooky shit going on.
After that, the group plans to visit Birchfield Cemetery and a nearby road said to be haunted by a woman in white.
Alright, let's bring up the light here. Well, that does not bode well. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Well, at least we know there's no Satanist cultists here. It's gonna, eat our flesh and sacrifice us to Raoul the Dark One.
Inside the tunnel, the darkness quickly becomes uncomfortable. Smoke drifts from deeper inside, suggesting that someone may be camping there. Dead Appalachia begins an EMF session before leaving. When he asks whether spirits remain from the tunnel's accidents, the device responds.
It's great for talking to ghosts if there are any ghosts. There may be some with us. Basically, you just ask them yes and no questions, and if they touch the device, that means it's a yes, or if they don't touch it, it's a no. Are there any spirits in here? Is there anyone that was killed during the mining and building incidents? Or anyone that has been killed during human sacrifices? You still reside here in this tunnel where you were killed?
It rises again when he asks about alleged sacrifices.
Damn. Are there still cultists practicing that kind of stuff here? If the answer is yes, touch this device. You see that? When I ask a question, it goes up, and then when I'm done asking the question, it goes back to nothing. So this place really could be haunted. I mean, I just got definite yes and no answers with this thing.
The timing is unusually specific, with the readings dropping each time he finishes speaking. The investigation then moves to Birchfield Cemetery. According to local stories, a woman named Glinda or Victoria was killed after being accused of witchcraft and having affairs with local men. The oldest section contains weathered stones, including a Civil War grave and markers that can barely be read.
This one's really, really old. I can't even read what that says. It looks like it's carved in with like a knife or something, or a chisel.
Despite several questions, the cemetery produces almost nothing. The EMF meter gives only a weak flicker, while the spirit box offers no clear response. Rather than forcing a conclusion, Dead Appalachia accepts that the graveyard may simply be quiet. After dark, he walks alone along Dark Hollow Road. Local legend claims the woman in white appears beside vehicles or jumps into truck beds.
People have claimed, as I said before, to have seen a woman in white walking down the road. They of course say that when you're driving, the woman in white will literally jump on your car.
As he calls her name, a sudden running sound rushes toward him from behind.
Delinda, Victoria. You want to say hi to me? I'm right here walking down your road. Galinda, Victoria, if you're out here, I really want to communicate with you. I am a friend. Give me a sign that... Holy Mothman balls. Oh no. Delinda / Victoria, is that you? That was something freaking running up on me.
Thermal imaging reveals only squirrels and cattle nearby. However, another unexplained sound follows him farther down the road.
You hear that? There's something breaking through the trees. Sounds pretty damn big. I hope you can catch it on the camera. It's far enough away where I'm not going to bother with the thermal because we won't be able to see it, but there's something poking around. Them dogs are going crazy. Look at the little cows. Do you think those dogs are going crazy because of what I'm hearing out here? What if it's a bear?
By the end of the investigation, the cemetery seems inactive, but the running noise remains difficult to explain. The strongest activity still appears to have come from the old tunnel.